What up, what up, what up, what up, good people? It is good to be with you guys on this lonely breakfast with the Brookses. And I'm telling you right now, your man don't do good by himself. I just want to let y'all know. So off the break, y'all can tell I ain't got my partner. She ain't coming, as far as I know. And y'all pray for your girl. She is suffering, and for my migraine sufferers, you get it. I don't even have to explain. It's just been one of those entire weeks, and so she's working through some things. But y'all pray for Cherie. For those of you all who are just jumping in by replay, please do me a very quick favor and tag and share. People are coming in the room off the break. I'm super excited. For those of you all who don't know me, my name is Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I'm a coach. Today, we are going to talk about literally how you as a parent can position your child to win when it comes to getting them to the next level, to getting them to college, and being able to pay for it. Y'all hear me? Being able to pay for it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, super excited. Welcome to Breakfast with the Brookses. I am flying solo. Unfortunately, don't do this very often. Y'all pray for my partner. I told my wife, and y'all already know who follow us, we ain't got but two rules in our relationship, guys. And many of y'all already know what it is. Number one, she can't leave me. And number two, she's not allowed to die. And the same goes true for me. So y'all pray for your girl, because she might be trying to sneak out the door on me. I ain't having it. I will follow her. I will get off this mic and follow her right out there. She ain't leaving me. So I just want to let y'all know. Listen, guys, if y'all have not figured it out by now, I am a relationship coach. My wife and I created what we call the MAPS community. It stands for Marriages and Parenting Successfully. It's actually a relationship academy that we created in order to help parents, in order to help people who are married do one specific thing, and that is to grow their skill set when it comes to being able to succeed in marriages, to succeed when it comes to parenting. And so when we show up for Breakfast with the Brookses, our entire goal here, guys, is really to bring strategies and tips and to help you with what to do. See, unfortunately, most people fall out of relationship and they think it's because they fall out of love. I don't believe that. Having been married once before for 12 years, Cherie was married twice before me. I can promise you, I still love, right, my ex-wife, in the sense of that's my sister, right? We couldn't figure out what we needed to do. I didn't have any skill sets. And so that's why the marriage imploded. Cherie can say the exact same thing of her two former husbands. And it's because we couldn't figure it out. Same thing goes for parenting. You love your children. You don't mean them any harm. But the problem is that if you don't grow your skill set, you are going to lose, and so will they. So we want to encourage you to sign up, www.thecrcoach.com. If you want to be a part of a community and a tribe who don't judge, because we all live in glass houses. We've been there, we've done that. And if we ain't careful, we'll go back, right? And then the other part of it is that we do speak truth and love. And so there you'll get accountability, you'll get community, and you'll get strategy on a personal level in a way that'll take you to the next game. For those of you all who want to catch other replays of Breakfast with the Brookses, you can see it scrolling across your screen now. You can do that. Simply go on to youtube.com/the CR Coach and do me a favor, guys, subscribe to that channel. We've got some things that we're going to be launching here in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited. Some things relative to a subject matter that's really near and dear to my heart concerning boundaries. And it's a series that we're going to be launching there. So the way you get the notifications on that and many more things is to subscribe to youtube.com/the CR Coach. We appreciate you for being there. I'm more than excited. I'm trying to get all this information out so that we can get into today's topic. Before we do that, I want to say shout out to Linwood, Andrea, Sidna, Lisa, thank you for jumping in the room. Karen, thank you for being here. Super excited that my MAPS community. Shout out to the MAPS Masterclass. Those guys are in the room. I appreciate you guys. Marcus, what's up, bro? Joseph, thank you. Danae, thanks for watching. Guys, do me a huge favor. LaFonda's in the room. Do me a huge favor, guys. Tag a parent. Share this out to someone who's raising some children. I don't care if they're a grandparent, co-parent, you name it, because at the end of the day, every one of us wants our children to succeed. The question is, how do you do that? And so without further ado, I want to talk about a young lady who I had the privilege of meeting a year ago when she joined, about a year and a half ago, maybe. Well, not quite a year and a half ago, because MAPS has only been around for a year and a half. So Sophia came to be a part of the MAPS community because of a mutual relationship. And I love this woman to pieces. The reason why is because y'all have to understand, millennials are close to my heart. My kids, my oldest is 33 and my youngest is 24. He'll be 25 here in a second. And the truth is that they teach me, right? They keep me honest. They keep me relevant. And I just love this woman's spirit. One of the things I love about Sophia is she's about her business and she knows what she's talking about. I'm going to introduce to you guys Sophia Melone, and she is, they affectionately call her, not affectionately, professionally, she's the debt demolisher, right? This woman knows how to get rid of debt and to position herself and the people around her to win, because she's freed up financially to be able to help and assist, not only by what she's done, but by what she can teach you in order to do. So without further ado, we're going to talk to a certified financial educational instructor. I ain't never heard of that. Sophia, you're going to have to break that down. I didn't know that was a thing. But ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm breakfast with the Brookses without Cherie this morning. Oh my God. Welcome to Sophia. We call her So-So. What's up, girl? How you?
Hey, hello, Glenn. Thank you, both you and Sherry, for having me on today. I'm super excited.
Let me tell you something right now. Your man went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm up just grinding. And I'm so excited. After a while, I don't know about you, Sophia, but I get so excited about what I do. I can't go to sleep. Like, so, you know, even when I want to, I lay down and it's like, oh my God, I got to do this. Oh my. So last night I'm preparing and I'm thinking about something that you and I have talked about off camera on the phone. And we've talked about something that's super sensitive to your heart. And that is being able to position our children at a place where they can win. And unfortunately, I don't think parents really recognize how much power they have and how much responsibility they have towards positioning their kids in order to win. And I'll give you a quick story. When Cherie and I got married, her daughter was 11. And I knew very quickly, first of all, this girl was brilliant and she was already smart. And she's probably going to get her way to college, right? Just because she's going to do the work. Well, I remember when we got married, it was probably a year after that. She might have been 12, 13 years old. And I remember her going, we enrolled her ninth grade year. She started a private school. And I told her, and I never will forget this conversation. I said, listen, sweetie, you do what you need to do. First of all, for the next 4 years, your job is school. And if you do your job well, you'll be able to write your own ticket in order to get into college. We're going to do our job. I promise you, we're going to position you. We made the sacrifice to send her to a private school. Trust me, many years of driving with no air conditioning and no heat in the car, many years of trying to figure out how we're going to come up with that tuition. And she did her part. She got great grades. She didn't graduate valedictorian, didn't graduate salutatorian, but she did graduate 6 in her class, and it positioned her to get into college in a way that really changed the game. Here was the crazy thing. I promised her that if she did her part, we would do our part. And when I got to senior year, by the time she had already visited 12 colleges and we had taken her and all that, 16, I think it was, maybe 16 colleges, and she applied for 12, something crazy like that. So we did all of the work. But here's what we recognize. She's about to get into school and we ain't got the money. we ain't got the money to send her. And so we get hyped on, oh my God, my baby got accepted to this, that, or the third. But then here comes the bill. Mm-hmm. And so we literally decided that we were going to sell our home. And I will never forget that experience because I promised that I was going to do my part. And if that meant we had to sell our home, go live in an apartment and do what we need to do, that's what we were going to do to send her to school. Too many parents, Sophia, are making decisions on the back end that's costing them for a very, very long time.
Yes.
Student loans, the whole nine, selling your home. Not that you won't do that, but is it really, really necessary? Talk to us, Sophia. Tell us about your story and help us parents out, because we're trying to make sure these babies win. But I think we got a huge, huge responsibility in doing that. Talk to us.
Absolutely. So, to share a little bit about my story and how all of my debt pretty much started, I was a person who was not taught how to manage money. I wasn't taught what it meant to be fiscally responsible. Debt was normal in my household. So going to school and going to college, literally, my mom's resolution was take out a loan. So that's exactly what I did. And as a result of going to undergraduate school and graduate school, all being, majority of it being financed through debt, I came out of school with almost $80,000 of debt in student loan debt, just alone.
Yep.
And one thing that I always say is my biggest regret was my laziness, and I'll just be frank and honest, but my laziness in not wanting to apply for any scholarships. So not applying for scholarships, just accepting the grants that were available through my state, and then majority taking the loans out, it allowed me to really delay my financial prosperity journey because it just tacked on more debt for myself.
Yep.
So one thing that I always say is if I was able to do it all over again, I would have applied for as many scholarships as I possibly can, because my mom didn't know, she didn't encourage me and tell me what to do and how to apply for scholarships. And her answer was just take out a loan. It's your responsibility. You finance your own self to college. So I always say there was a woman who I was speaking to as well. She was telling me how she pays for her daughter's college education. And one thing I said to her daughter, I said, you really have to be grateful, because a lot of parents, especially in our community, are not prepared to do what your mother is doing for you.
Yep.
So all the parents on the line, I want to encourage you, do as much as you can to properly prepare not only yourself, but your children for college, if that is what they want to do, because you don't want to have that burden on them, because debt is a heavy burden, heavy burden. And, you want to be able to really put your children in a position where they can maximize their dollars later on and now.
Absolutely. Sophia, I really want to kind of explore that a little bit. And when I say explore that, you talk about parents needing to position their children. I know from our perspective, we had a home that we could sell. Quite frankly, at the time, I want to say our home had about $30,000 worth of equity in it. So we could liquidate that house and we could certainly get her to school. Here's what I knew. Even with selling the house, we didn't have enough money to finance her entire education. I want to roll back the pages, if you will, and speak to the idea of positioning yourself early. So I think that part of being fiscally responsible is about education, is really about knowing what's available and when it's available. I remember during our journey, one of the reasons we sent our daughter, and guys, listen to me very carefully. Part of fiscally being responsible is positioning people early. Listen to me very carefully. Being fiscally responsible, and Sophia, you can chime in, has everything to do with positioning not only yourself, but your children as early as you possibly can. And so in our case, we made a decision to take her out of public school and put her in private school, not just because of the better education, but real talk. I went to a graduation of a friend, same school, who graduated 4 years prior to my daughter actually graduating. We went to this graduation, and one of the things that I heard in the commencement service, they said that 100% of their graduates, 100% of their seniors were graduating. They also threw out a statistic that of those 100%, listen to this, Sophia, this is ridiculous to me. I will never forget these numbers. 98% of those students were going on to secondary education. 98% of the 100%, right, that were graduating. Now, I'm not even finished. Of that 98%, 96% of these kids were going on some sort of scholarship. Now you have to understand, my daughter is in 8th grade when I'm listening to this conversation, at this commencement address for some friends. I leaned over to my wife and I said, baby, did you just hear that? We had just gotten married earlier that year. I said, did you just hear that? I said 100% of the students that come here graduated. 98% of the students actually are going on this. The other 2% were going into the military. Okay. And so what are they doing? Like, what in the world is this school doing that can get that graduation rate up like that? But more importantly, how has that school positioned itself to win on the behalf of these students? So when I say start early, sometimes it really matters what high school they go to and how that high school is positioned when it comes to the college landscape. And to some degree, I know everybody can't control that part, but when they can, you should. And then when you can't, talk to us about different things. If you were, if you could have spoken to your younger, if you could speak to your younger self and your mom at that age, what would you have told her to help position you so that you could have won when it comes to getting to this next level? And we're going to go into the whole how to retire the debt piece and all that. But I just want you to speak to the parent for a quick second to get their mind thinking of opportunities and things that are available that they should do now.
Absolutely. This is actually the number one thing or the number one step that I feel that is necessary in this process. And that is communicating with your children, communicate with your child, and actually talk to them about the possibilities of education and what is available to them. We have to start talking. Well, one thing that I wish is that my mom would have talked to me about this before I even reached high school. One thing too was, a lot of times we resort to relying on the guidance counselors to give us information or give your children information on financing college and how to get through college. But a lot of times they don't know it all. So most of the times we just want to hear from our parents and just sit down and talk to them. What are some things that you like? What are some things that you desire? What are your goals? And then you also want to sit down and assess the return on investment based on what your child wants to do and what they want to go to school for. So one thing I wish my mom would have.
1 second, you moving a little fast, girl. You need to break down what is the return on investment. You need to unlock that a little bit as you go. When you start talking about a return on investment for parents, make sure I want you to speak to that a little bit, because I don't think a lot of parents understand that debt to whatever it is, the ratio. I don't know all the terms, but the truth of the matter is that some schools aren't worth you even getting them into, because you'll never get that back even after they get the degree. Am I right?
You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. So you want me to deep dive into that a little now?
Go ahead. You froze up a little bit there for a second, but go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and talk a little bit about the ROI since you want me to. So return on investment is basically you identifying what you are investing in and basically saying, what are you getting in return for that? So like you said before, sometimes we invest in degrees, or we get these degrees that cost us $80,000 or $50,000. And when we come out of school, the careers that we have can't even cover that. The base salary is like a $30,000 salary or $25,000 salary. So you have to look at the option. You've invested $50,000 and not even considering all of the interest that's occurring if you've taken out loans, and your return on investment is your salary. And that's almost less than half, or close to half. So
right,
you have to weigh that and assess to see if the career path that you're getting education in will be able to lucratively pay you for what you've invested in.
Sophia, I think that unfortunately most people, and I again, this is no judgment, guys. We're talking to Sophia Melone, and she's a certified it's a long word. It's a certified financial education instructor. She actually has a company, and she's going to give her information. Guys, I want y'all to connect with her because she's an educator by nature, by trade. This is what she does all day, every day. She educates people on how to navigate a system. and I'm gonna just say it on the front end, that's not designed with your best interest in mind. And so when we talk about positioning our children for college, loans is the very last thing you want to do. Now, if it's absolutely necessary, even if you have to do it, there's a way to navigate that so that you win. But the point is what can you do early and often enough to be able to do it? Karen chimed in and she said, I agree with this, because I've learned that you can start applying for scholarships when your kids are in kindergarten. Like, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Like, are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
So speak to us a little bit, if you could. And let us know, what are some options when parents are beginning to look to, we talked about positioning them. We talked about getting your mindset, thinking about the actual school. So when I think about that, if your child wants to be a teacher, right, and you are trying to get, but they want to go to, I don't know, the University of Maryland. Let's just start there. I'm from Maryland. You're in DC, but the University of Maryland, for instance, it costs, I don't know, it's got to cost 40 grand a year, close to it, or something crazy, 30, maybe 30 a year. I don't know what it is. But at that point, the question, that's a year. So at the end of 4 years of that, let's just say it costs 30 a year. 3 times 4 is what, 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's $120,000 that you're going to rack up. You're going to pay them. So if you take out loans at $120,000 to be a teacher, I don't know teachers that make $120,000 a year.
Right.
Maybe professors at the PhD level.
Mm-hmm.
But what teacher do you know that makes that kind of money? So the question becomes, should she go to the University of Maryland to get her teaching degree? Like, it really boils down to that kind of common sense. Yes.
Yes, it does. And then also, too, another strategy as well is, one thing that I don't think that people really consider is going to a community college first. You can save a lot of money by going to your local community college for your first 2 years, and then transitioning over to a 4-year university where, you'll be able to cut costs, and you only have to pay at least for, 2 more years of education. But that's a huge, huge, huge aspect that one can use. If I would have known that, well, luckily, me living in DC, we had DC Tag, which allowed you to be able to kind of get in-state tuition depending on where you went, if you went to another public institution that's outside of your home state. But on average, if you think about like the costs, if you think about the cost of schools, average tuition, like you said, for an out-of-state per year is like $24,000.
Wow.
$24,000. And if you go to a private school, it's about $32,000 a year.
A whole lot of money.
It's a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money. And with us resulting to student loan debt, this is what is contributing to the increase in the outstanding debt. Like, student loan debt has quadrupled over the last 15 years. We're like at over 1.3 trillion. Over 1.3 trillion. I'm so grateful and thankful for my ability, or my comments, or me waking up really.
Yeah.
And deciding that I wanted to get out of debt, and I ended up paying off my student loans. And the student loans is probably the biggest expense for majority of people in their household, outside of, their housing expense. So we really want to figure out a way to minimize the cost as much as possible by leveraging going to a community college and then transitioning over, but then not resorting to student loans, because that should not be your go-to answer. Like you said, it should be the least resort or no resort at all.
Absolutely. Guys, we're talking to Sophia Melone. She's a certified educational instructor. She still hasn't told me what that word means, because I'm going to tell you right now, here's what I know. They need to pay her by the word, y'all. That's crazy. But if you want to get in touch with Sophia, it's just simply her name, www.sophiamelone.com. It's scrolling across your screen. Screenshot it. Do whatever you got to do. Make sure that you get in touch with her. She is known as the Debt Demolisher. If you want to follow her anywhere socially, right now, all of her tags are being scrolled across the screen. Make sure that you guys follow this young lady, because she's crushing it. I want you to talk to people about the $1 million question. So you retired $83,000 in student loan primary debt. in just 21 months. That's ridiculous. Nobody in their right mind. First of all, people need to understand that you're not a millionaire in the sense that I don't know if you are by now, but you weren't when you started that process. How old are you, Sophia, if you don't mind me asking?
I do not mind. I'm 34 years old right now.
So Sophia's 34 years old, right? She's 34 years old. She's a part of the MAPS community. That means she's got a lot of protection over here for my young brothers who trying to slide in her DM right now, talking about, excuse me, you got a man, you got a man. So I just want to let y'all know the MAPS community is on standby. No, I'm just playing. But the point I'm making is, guys, is that you're young. You're young and you've retired this amount of debt. And here's what our parents, please listen to me very, very carefully. I want y'all to hear this. What would it look like for you to retire $80,000 in debt over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? If your child is 5 and you are $80,000 in debt, and you strike out on a plan to get that debt retired before they graduate from middle school or come out of middle school, let's say 10 years in, by the time they're 15, they're going into high school by this time. That's not only doable. What would it look like to take that same 80 that you just retired, because clearly you were used to paying it, and then now you decide, you know what, I am going to gift this to my daughter, son, whatever. We're going to come up with the right college plan for them and begin to make sure that they go into school and come out of school with no debt. That's the goal, so that you can position them to be as financially free as possible, as early as possible. What would that look like? I don't know about you, but I would absolutely love to just, first of all, I don't have $80,000 worth of debt. Thank you, Jesus, because I had to learn the hard way. But if I did, I'd like to retire that anyway. Sophia, talk to us. How in the world did you do that? You're 34 years old. You don't have you're not a trust fund baby. You don't have all this. How in the world did you do that? Please help us out.
Sure. So I did a culmination of things, but I'm just going to highlight on what's most important. Number one, the first thing that you have to do is you have to shift your mindset and your perception.
Somebody put that in the chat. Shift your mindset. Put it in the chat, guys. Y'all, let's be interactive here. I know I haven't been talking to the community because I'm so focused on getting this information to you, but Karen or anybody in the MAPS community, y'all, let's participate. Get this in the chat so that people can see it. Number one, you said what now, Sophia?
Shift your mindset.
Yes, ma'am.
You do that by surrounding yourself around people and atmospheres and communities that are where you want to be. So the first thing that I did was when I said, okay, I want to get out of debt. I'm tired of living check to check. I'm tired of working so hard and not keeping any ounce of my paycheck every time I'm paid. I need something different. I immediately went to Google, Pinterest, whatever, and started searching how to get out of debt, how to budget, how to do this. And I came across the His and Her Money Show, absolutely amazing platform on financial freedom and financial literacy. I came across them, and hearing their stories and hearing the people who they interview share their stories on how they've gotten out of debt, it gave me so much momentum and drive. And that just catapulted me into going full-fledged into this process.
I love it.
So
go ahead.
The next thing you want to do is you want to identify how much debt you are in by facing the reality of your situation.
All right, I got to stop you right there because the coach in me is coming out. Guys, put that in the chat. The idea is face the music. Put that in the chat. Face the music. We ain't going on no further, Sophia, till I start seeing some face the music comments in this chat. Listen, guys, you need to know your numbers. As my coach always tell me, know your numbers. From a business standpoint, I know my numbers. I know what I need to make. I know where I'm at. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to succeed. So good. We can continue now because our class is participating, Sophia. So I'm loving our MAPS community. Identify how much debt you're in. I love it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. She's such a great student. Face the music. Let's go.
Yes, face the reality of your situation and outline all of your debts. I'm telling you, it may be hard to see depending on how much debt you're in, but once you look at it, it will drive you to be like, okay, wait a minute, no more debt. Let me put a plan in place to tackle this. So face the reality of your situation. The next thing that I did was I put myself on a strict budget. I scrubbed my expenses. I
Okay,
looked
you
at
got to stop right there. You got to stop right there, coach. You got to stop right there, coach. Guys, number 3, you need a budget. Number 3, get on a budget. Number 3, put it in the chat. We ain't going no further. Sophia, I know this is elementary and maybe you feel a little restricted over here, but I'm not playing with our people. I need y'all to understand you need a budget. Put that in the chat. I thank God for my wife. If we didn't have a budget, we would be homeless. I don't care how much money I generate. It ain't even about that because I would spend every single dime of it. That I promise you. So, okay, great. We got people. Y'all, such a great class today. Budget. I appreciate that, Joseph. Appreciate that, Craig. And my brothers are stepping up. That way to lead your families, fellas. I love this. Who said that men ain't a part of the process? I don't know where y'all got that from. That is some fake news if I ever heard it. Put yourself on a strict budget. Come on, Sophia, talk to us.
Yeah, you have to do that because a lot of times we don't know where our money is going. So I always say you can't know how to start if you don't know where to start. And knowing where to start is outlining your numbers. Like you said, know where your money is going. And then sometimes people don't like the word budget. They run away from that number. If you don't like that number, use a different terminology. Generate a money plan. Generate your legacy plan. Think about every action that you're doing right now is geared towards your future, not only for yourself, but for your family and the legacy that you're leaving behind.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Keep going. No, we good. We good.
Okay.
I love the terminology changing because sometimes I really think that words are really important. I think they're powerful and I think that they can motivate. And I also think that they can tear down. And so if budget messes your head up and you're like, I don't want a legacy plan. That changes the game. Like, what do I need to do to position my kid in order to win on a long-term basis? Come on, Sophia, keep going.
Yes. And then once you put your budget together, you identify what you can cut, what is it necessary, you have to be willing to sacrifice.
Ooh.
What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up?
Now you dropping the S bomb. Now you dropping the S. I ain't expect you come on here and start cussing people, Sophia. It's not very nice. First thing on a Saturday morning, be cussing folks. Guys, I need you to put down in the chat number 4. So we said number 1. Let's go back because all my people that rode the short bus, God bless you. I'm not even trying to throw shade because some of y'all, you just coming up, taking your time. Number 1, we said shift your mindset. Number 2, we said identify, right, how much debt you're in, meaning face the music. You got to know what it is that you're dealing with, right? Number 3, I think we said, did we say know your numbers was number 3? Know what it is that you are facing, meaning you have to break that out. And then, no, I'm sorry, number 3 was actually put yourself on a strict budget. That's what it was. And then when you do that, guys, what happens is it leads you to number 4, and you have to be willing. It's the S word. I know not people want to hear this, but you got to sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You got to give up something. Sophia, I can't tell you. And again, I don't live in a glass house, guys. I ain't got no weapons. I'm not throwing no stones. Your man can speak this way because I declared bankruptcy twice in my lifetime, right? I have been out of debt, completely debt-free on 3 separate occasions. I am the equivalent of the person who's losing weight and gains it, losing weight and gains it, losing weight, and that yo-yo effect. So please understand, I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm telling you that I understand this pain from a very real. I was ready to sell my house. Like literally, that's the first home I'd ever owned in my entire life. 5 years later, I was about to sell that joint because I didn't see any other way to get our daughter to college. Now, here was grateful. I will tell you the rest of the story is because we did begin to file and make sure that she signed up. And this was Cherie's job. We approached it like a team. Cherie's job was to identify every grant on the planet, every scholarship on the planet, everything that she did that she can qualify. And this was before the internet, y'all, before Google like that, right? And this woman, my wife, had a war room. We couldn't see our dining room table for months, right? Because it was just a war chest. We were plotting to figure out how we could get this girl money. I promise you, by the time it was all said and done, she won, I want to say it was 6 scholarships over time, and she actually wound up getting more money to go to school than the if I got the story correctly. If she hears it, she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But more money than the valedictorian got, more money than the salutatorian got. My daughter wound up going undergrad completely tuition free. And so that was worth well over $100,000, right? By the time she was in her second year of college, we now pushed her to be a RA because RAs get paid to do what they do. God bless America, right? And so we took the room and board off the table that we paid the first year. By her second year, we were paying less money for our daughter to go to college than we did for her to go to high school. Wow. I want y'all to hear that. Not because we were people who were brilliant, but because we were hard workers. We positioned ourselves and positioned her. She did her, everybody had a job. She did her part. We did our part. And together we got her through that. Well, that undergrad led to her being able to get a fellowship for her master's. So her first master's paid for. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until her second master's, if I get my math right, I said second master's, that she began actually paying. By this time she'd grown and she married. Thank you, Jesus. And so I'm saying your man is off the hook. Thank you, God. We did our part, right? And so now, but she's getting her PhD. She's in her second year of her PhD because she had the leverage to do that. And here's what she kept reminding me: Dad, I'm not smart. I just work hard. I just want people to understand that, guys. She'll tell me in a minute, guys, I'm not that smart. I'm not that sharp. I'm good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not demeaning myself, but I just work hard. And parents, I just need you to hear that the reason why I have Sophia on the line is that we're trying to give you guys the tips, the tools, the strategies to work hard. Y'all need to get at your girl and stop playing with this. Sophia Melone, I always want to say Melanie because I see it. Right. And so I just want you guys to understand that she's a certified financial education instructor. She will instruct you. Her business is that, right? Go to the website, sophiamelone.com, in order to be able to catch up with her, follow her online, anywhere social. She's all over social media. She's a millennial. She can't help herself. I understand. And the truth of the matter is that she's dropping ridiculous gems. So we talked about the 4 things, and I know that I'm interrupting. And the last thing we left off with was sacrifice. Sophia, first of all, guys, Sophia will be showing up in our parenting room. She's already a part of the MAPS community. She was the first person that signed up for MAPS that wasn't married and wasn't a parent. I was freaked out. Sophia, you got to tell me, what in the world mode part of our community, and you ain't married, as y'all would say in DC, married, and you're not a parent. Like, what was it about that community that caused you to say, no, I got to be a part of what they doing?
So mainly it was what you guys were delivering. And then not only that, I knew that I needed to work on my communication because communication is the key to basically is the foundation of any relationship that you have, whether intimate or in general. So I knew that I needed to be around people who were experienced in communicating and who knew how to effectively communicate through relationships and have healthy relationships, so I can learn in that environment. Like I said, surround yourself around people who are where you want to be.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, y'all better listen to this young lady. She ain't playing with this. I don't know about you, but she done retired $83,000 in debt in just 21 months. And she's teaching people how they can do the same thing. Get at your girl. Sophia, we left off with sacrifice. Can we get one more in before we roll out?
Yes, actually, I want to address something because when you were telling your story earlier, it really resonated with me when you said that, you know, you've repeated the process, like it's been 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is so important because this was also myself. So this isn't the first time that I've been in debt and got out of debt, right? When I was younger, my mother and I, we did the same thing. We borrowed equity from the home to pay off the credit cards because we had massive credit card debts, right? We paid off the credit cards, we paid off the car. And what happened? I ended up right back in, at this point, 6 figures of debt, right? All over again. And the reason why I wanted to share this was because what happened with me was the shift in doing the work. Sometimes when we file bankruptcy, sometimes when we do, when we refinance our debt and things of that nature, we don't learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's so key to do the work. And with my company, Smash Debt, that is our philosophy. We work our way out of debt. It's no get rich quick scheme, no eliminating your debt. No, you have to do the work so you can be able to learn and actually get the value and the lesson so you won't repeat it.
I love
So
it.
I wanted to share that.
I love it. No, I think that's absolutely critical, guys. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make people wait. If you want to, I was going to, it's 8:41. I got a couple of coaching sessions coming up and some other things. I don't want to give everybody everything because we're going to have you back. There's no way that we're going to exhaust your brain, your knowledge, all of what you do, Sophia, in this one conversation. Guys, I just want y'all to really understand. Parents, listen to me very carefully. Here's what we're trying to do in MAPS. Our goal, see, first of all, our goal is to bring to you the best. And I don't bring people on who aren't practitioners. This word guru is loosely thrown around as people who are experts in a specific field. I'm not going to knock whether that's true or not, but here's what I do know. Oftentimes, once you have gotten to where you want to be, you stop practicing. You stop being a practitioner of your own stuff. You stop eating your own or feeding off of your own wisdom, right? And so I need you guys to understand that Sophia is a practitioner. She is actively doing this. This is what she does for a living every single day. She's a teacher by nature. And so I want you to understand that when we bring folks to the table, we're doing that on purpose. I just, I can hold it down by myself. I don't have to throw a guest up here. Trust me when I tell you that's not the issue. It's because these people are proven and they're qualified. And I've watched their life long enough to know they are producing and getting results for their own self. Because so many times as leaders, we can get results for other people. But the question is, are we getting results for ourselves? And I think that is the telltale sign when a person is there. So do me a favor. If you are not a part of the MAPS community and you would like to be a part, I would love to set you up with a free 30-minute assessment. I just want to talk to you. I just want to find out where you're at. I just want to find out what's going on. It actually takes me less than 30 minutes. I give you 30 minutes because you need to talk. But the truth of the matter is that once I assess where you at, I can promise you if I can help you or not. And if I can, the truth of the matter is that I'm obligated to. So do me a favor, go to thecrcoach.com. Join our community. Why am I telling you that? Because we're going to have Sophia come into our parenting room really soon. Right. And I want her to begin a series of breaking down just little tips and take one thing at a time, Sophia, and just exhaust that thing all the way through. I'm talking strategies and different things, because at the end of the day, I really believe we all need some help. That's not just something I wear on my shirt. That's not just something I hashtag. That's not just something I throw out because it's cute. You cannot get to any place of significance by yourself. I don't care what the arena is in, financial, relational, health-wise. I don't care what is spiritually. I don't care where you're trying to go. If it's a place of significance, you are going to need some help. So come on and be a part of that. If you just want to get directly at Sophia, please, I want you to do that, because she has programs and different things that you can go through when you are ready. Here's what I know. She ain't going nowhere. I promise. That I promise you, she gonna be on this one for a hot minute. Sophia, is there anything in closing that you would like to just share? First of all, again, I can't tell you how privileged I feel to have watched your maturation, right? Over just this last year, watching you, having gotten, to know you up close a little bit. And then from afar socially, just watching you level up, watching you put one foot in front of the other and do the daggone thing. And I'm just saying, it's that kind of stuff that proves to people, oh, it can be done. The question is, are you willing to put in that work? Any parting words, anything you want to share with folks as we get up out of here?
Yes, I just want to share something too. That would have actually been the very last tip, which you touched on, and that's accountability. Accountability is necessary in any journey that you are on. Like you said, you cannot do this alone. And I just want to leave you guys with encouraging words that you can and will achieve your goals. You just have to decide what it is that you want, what you're willing to sacrifice, and who you are going to connect with to make sure that you get to that finish line. So thank you so much, Glenn and Sherry. I'm so thankful. And I just can't wait to continue to pour into the parents of the MAP community. I'm excited. MAPS.
Yeah, I am too, guys. Again, Sophia, thank you, sweetie. I know this won't be the last time, but I think this is a milestone. I'm feeling some kind of way over here because I understand what vision looks like, and this is a part of what I wanted MAPS to be. I never wanted MAPS to be about Cherie and I. I never wanted to be about us exclusively. I knew we were winning, but I also knew that there was a whole bunch of other people out there winning. No one knows you. No, and so I'm believing God for him to continue to build our platform for the sole express purpose of helping other people build their platforms. And at the end of the day, I tell people, I really believe this, guys. We all need some help. And you have to understand that accountability is critical. Without it, you don't grow. And so thank you for everything. Guys, again, lastly, if you want to get up with Sophia directly, her website, sophiamelone.com, Melone. It's got a little T-lay. I don't know what you call that thing over top of your E, so y'all can get the pronunciation like me right normally when you see it out there. But at any rate, y'all get up with her, screenshot this, and make sure that you make that happen. If you want a free coaching session with me, you want to look at coming into the MAPS community where she's going to unpack some of these things, I want you to do that. Please come grow with us at www.thecrcoach.com. That's the C as in constant, R as in relationship.com. And guys, at the end of the day, always remember, we all need some help. Sophia, I will talk to you. I appreciate you. Much love, sweetie. Let's talk soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, be good. You be good. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.